What's good, everybody? Welcome to another Logic Pro beat rate recreation video. My name is Ted. I talk bass and stuff. So today I'm doing 7779311, which is one of the dopest drum beats ever. Prince did not do this. If you're new to the channel, you'll see that I'm a huge Prince fan, huge fan of that 80s sound, particularly the Minneapolis sound. Unlike the other videos, I figured I'd spare you a little bit of, speeding through things. I've already done this, but let's talk about it. This was a stock drum beat that was in the Linn drum that was programmed by Dave Garibaldi. Let me mute the original track. And so here's the intro, and the verses don't have any snare in them. I actually need to put one more. I'm going to take all three on beat 3 with Cabasa, shaker playing right on the downbeats. Then we'd have our guitar come in. Okay. The hi-hat pattern is the thing that really makes this special. So let's look at that, and I'll show you how I program that using the drum sequencer in Logic. Kick pattern stays the same. I'm going to minimize that so you don't have to see all that information until you need to. But the kick pattern stays the same. What I did was I lowered the velocity right on beat 3 so that the apex of that groove, if you will, is on the E's of beat 1 and beat 3. 1 E, 2, 3 E. 1 E, 2, 3 E. That's where it really is. So I'm gonna actually lower the velocity on this a little bit. Just a word. I only did that on this one section, so it wouldn't. That change that I made didn't affect everything. And when I start fine tuning, we'll fix that if it's even necessary. So I'm going to loop this section. The hi-hat pattern is 2 bars. If I loop this section right here, 1 and 2. Let me solo the hi-hat, the closed hi-hat. Let's give you I thought I soloed that. And then let me add the, now what I could have done was turn this into a 2-bar pattern. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can do that now. You'll have to bear with me for a second. And so instead of having, 2 1-bar sections, if I right click, part of this is me learning, for me, is learning the step sequencer. There's got to be a way to copy this entire pattern. So let's see, edit, copy, and then we're going to take this pattern and turn it into 32 steps. If we have 32 steps, then we have a two bar pattern. But no, that's going to be a little more work than I think we're ready for right this second for the nature of this video. I should have made this into just a 2-bar loop, but we know for next time. So let's talk about the roll. We already know what's happening with the kick drum. What I did on the roll is I used a note repeat on the E of beat 4. So let's go to this pattern and solo and I'm still tuning, you know, working on that. I just wanted to get the pattern. Again, I did the note repeat lane on the E of beat 3, and then turn down the velocity. It's, you know, when you're using a modern sequencer, I think it's a little tricky trying to get the exact feel of what the original thing sounded like, what they felt like. I'm going to turn the Cabasa up just a little bit. Okay. After that, when I did put in, I did use the retro synth stock plugin that's in Logic for the synth. So we got the same pattern, got the same exact pattern. We just added a snare and claps. The claps are really the thing that's making this pop. And I turned the snare down a little bit so you mostly hear the claps. And the snare is just kind of thickening it up. So here's the synth on the intro part. C sharp minor, A major. It's really cool to me to see how all these little puzzle pieces fit together. That's what groove is to me, is when it's one of the things that groove is to me, when you see all these little pieces doing the exact same thing without getting in the way of anything else. Like you know, if you're watching this video, you're familiar with the song, so you can hear the guitar and the bass, right? And all these things are just doing simple things, leaving space for the vocal. That's another thing you hear a lot in that music is you hear that those single held out notes. So there's the chorus. But you know, I don't know if it's you know, necessary for me to even do you know, I like to do these in parts, so I don't know if it's even, you hear the pattern here. The pattern does not change. It does not change at all. Again, what I think I should have done is, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm just gonna take one of these sections and then recreate it. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. And I'm going to recolor these two just so I know exactly what I'm, you know, that I'm editing. So if I take this pattern right here, the intro is, or rather the first part of the groove is, that's one measure. If I turn this into a 32-step pattern, right, all it did was it copied the first part. So let's take that away. And I'm keeping that so that I remember exactly what I did. So on beat one, we have a open hi-hat. So I'm going to go back over here, and I know that this is the second bar. So I'm going to take all this out. So what I have now is, right? Okay, so put that hi-hat there, and I need a closed hi-hat to close the hi-hat. Got the sniffle. That's not, let's take this tie off of here. No. Let's put that back there. Trying to get that hi-hat to open and close, you know, with the right feel. Let me see what I did over here. I did open that up a little bit more. So let's go to this lane, and we're gonna add a tie. Let's see if that changes it. Take that out, put that there, and we'll do that. Okay. Come back over here, and I'm just comparing what I did. Let's see. That doesn't sound right. Huh. Oh, I know. I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sometimes this stuff could be visually overwhelming. So let's do that. There we go. And then we have 2E and over here. So 2E and 2E and There's a hi-hat on beat 3. And I'm looking right over here. 3E and So E and on beat 3 are closed hi-hats. Then open hi-hat on beat 4. And is 2 closed hi-hats. Well, actually 2 open hi-hat. Let's see if I did that right. Yeah. Okay. And there's a roll that we have to add in on beat 3 right here. Beat 3. We're going to use note repeat. There's the note repeat lane. I'm just going to do 2. Turn on the velocity on that. And then, hey, that sounds pretty good to me. I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to loop this to see what's happening. Yes. Okay, so now that I made that section that way, instead of having it be one measure and then another measure, I just turned it into a 2-bar loop. So essentially I could take all of these and delete them. And replace them with this guy. And they just fit right in everywhere where that pattern happens. So we'll take all of these out. I don't know why I did that like that, but whatever. Whoops. If you don't know, when you're working with Logic, if you hold down the Option key and drag, you'll be able to duplicate a pattern. So let me make this a little bit easier on the eyes and close the lane. I'll close that lane. And then I'm going to bring this right here and color it as well. I don't know the shortcut for show colors. Maybe I should learn that. Option C. I'm going to make this let's make it a mustard color. So there's the pattern. The kick pattern stays the same for 2 bars. So with the emphasis being on the ease of beat 1 and beat 3. 1 E, 2 and 3 E. 1 E, 2 and 3 E. 1 E, 2 and 3 E. Ah, 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 ah. If you break a groove down into like a skeleton, so to speak, right? You've got like the main foundation of the groove, and then you've got all these other little things holding it up. So let's say you have, you know, if you can imagine like beams holding up a ceiling or something, or a wall, and then all these other little elements, ghost notes and trills and things like that being like screws, kind of putting that together. So kick drum by itself. Let's loop this. Whoops, I'm in the wrong thing. Let's not do that. Let's make sure we're in the right one. Did something goofy. So let's close all that. You'll notice too that since I have all these separate sections, that if I edit one, I'm just editing that one, not editing them all, which is kind of weird, but that's how it be. Okay, let's go section by instrument, or kit piece by kit piece. There's your kick drum. Obviously, your hi-hat and clap and snare happening on where you'd expect them on beat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna drag this one down, so just try to get it visually pleasing. Hi-hat. Like I said, that is what makes the groove feel so nasty, is the hi-hat. Because without the hi-hat, it's just, which is still funky. Put our Cabasa in there. Just like a metronome, holding it together. Hi-hat. Let's man, even without the open hi-hat, it's just, it's nasty. Woo. What a stank. That's the pattern, man. That is the pattern, and I am 99.999% sure that that is accurate, at least in the programming, right? And where things fall in the measure. So there's the pattern for 7779311. If you have any questions, comments, if you think I'm totally out of my mind, let me know in the comments. It's all good. I got thick skin and I ain't tripping. So have a great one, and I'll catch you in the next video. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later. Peace. 2 fingers.